Welcome to the HaltingWinter podcast. I'm Seth Winterhalter. This week in the Municipal Leadership Development Circle, what we call the MLDC, we're diving into the book Boundaries for Leaders, Results, Relationships, and Being Ridiculously in Charge. The book is by Dr. Henry Cloud, and I think this one is really important for you as a local government, specifically a leader who sets and creates culture. If you want to learn more about the MLDC, this dynamic group of local government leaders from across North America, I want you to head over to HaltingWinter.com/MLDC. That's Halting, Halting, Halting Winter like the season, HaltingWinter.com/MLDC to learn more. All right, let's set this up with a question. Have you ever felt like you're leading, but you're not actually in charge of anything? The city council, well, they make the big decisions. The budget, well, that constrains your options. And you know, civil service, all these requirements, well, that limits your personnel moves and realities, hiring, firing, etc. Union contracts, well, they define work rules. State mandates, well, they dictate priorities. And you're sitting there thinking, what exactly am I even in control of? Well, Dr. Henry Cloud would say this: more than you think. In fact, way more. Cloud is a clinical psychologist. He's a leadership consultant who's worked with some of the biggest organizations in the world. And in this book, Boundaries for Leaders, he makes a bold claim. He says leaders are ridiculously in charge of creating the conditions that make people either thrive or struggle. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, well, that's easy to say in corporate America, I want you to stick with me. Cloud's not talking about having unlimited authority or unlimited resources. He's talking about something more practical and more powerful. He's talking about boundaries. Here's what he means by boundaries. There are structures that determine what will exist and what will not, what you'll create and what you'll allow, what gets attention and what gets ignored, what behavior is acceptable and what isn't. Think about your last leadership team meeting. Did it start on time or 15 minutes late? Did the conversation stay focused or did it drift into complaint sessions? Did people bring solutions or just problems? Did someone dominate the discussion while others checked out? Whatever happened in that meeting, you either created it or you allowed it. See, that's a boundary, or more accurately, it's the absence of boundaries. Here's what makes Cloud's insights, I think, really interesting. He backs all this up with neuroscience research, right? The insights of the brain, the mindset, the culture creation really starts inside what happens in the mind, what we communicate, what we allow, what people learn through behaviors and actions. He shows that leaders who set clear boundaries actually change how their team's brains function. When there's clarity about what matters, where to focus, and what's expected, people's brains can do their best work. When everything is ambiguous, when meetings drift, when toxic behavior gets unaddressed, stress hormones flood the brain and they shut down higher level thinking. I'm sure you've experienced this. You've left meetings feeling mentally drained, not because the work was hard, but because nothing was clear. It's not just frustrating, it's literally inhibiting your team's cognitive function. Cloud identifies 7 leadership behaviors that set the stage for high performance. We're going to look at those this week and say, how do these apply to our local government context? So I want you to consider becoming a part of the MLDC. 1 book a week, daily insights through a podcast, easy to listen to, or a blog post, short blog post. Nothing takes longer than 2 to 3 minutes to work through. Because we want you to have, I get it, you're busy, your schedules are busy, you need bite-sized information to help you just think on something, chew on something every day, keep the blade of your leadership sharp, because it's not only you, it's the culture that you're setting by the behaviors you're allowing, by the boundaries you're either setting or not setting. So the question isn't whether you have control, the question is whether you'll own the control you do have and use it to create an environment where your team can think clearly, connect authentically, and produce the results you desire despite the constraints of local government. This is what we're tackling in the MLDC. If you want to learn more, head over to HaltingWinter.com/MLDC and join us this week. Until next week, I'm Seth Winterhalter. Thanks for listening and keep leading with impact.